All right, welcome back. So we're going to talk about namespaces, and the title gives it away. Make controller is what you're going to use for namespaces. If you have been watching along, you're going to feel like we've already done this, and we really have already done this. So this is going to be a fairly quick video. Here's a reference to where we did this before. But let's just a quick reminder, what is a namespace, and then how does this tie into make model? So a namespace is really just more of an organizational part of your app where I gave an example here, public pages and private tools. So it could be a space that only a few users are able to access to do certain things. So, for example, if I have our cooking app and I want only a certain group of people to be able to create recipes, do all the CRUD actions on recipes, I'm not going to put CRUD on recipes. I'm going to put CRUD on TestKitchenRecipeController. So I think of namespaces more as not a data structure, more as like a namespacing for organizational aspects. And because of that, it belongs more to routes and controllers, which is why I kept it in make controller instead of adding it into make model. So let's go back and do this example really quick where we want to build full RESTful actions for recipe, but under the test kitchen namespace. So I have my terminal up, and I'm in my demos folder. So if I show you everything in here, it's just Cooker, and we haven't touched Cooker in quite a while. So we're going to see, we made Cooker with Flask Commands. We're going to see if I've been telling you the truth. If after putting a project down for quite a while, when we come back to it, if we can read the project and see what's going on fairly quickly. But we'll pick that up in the next video, which will be the last video for this version of 03. So let's do Flask make or new, and then we'll just do my project. Okay. So we'll build a new project. We will, and the first thing you want to do when you namespace is you want to already have the resource made. So we will use Flask make model to make our recipe resource. So we'll cd into my project, and we will run this. All right, that come up. All right, here's our hello world. All right, so we'll go back to VS Code. Let's just look in here, and we'll do this one step at a time. There's only 2 steps. So if I go to my models and I go to my init, there's just user made. If I go to my routes, it's just the routes for main, which contains that hello world route. Now, let's come in here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make recipe. Now, you have a couple of ways of making that recipe model, and let's use the make model because that's, you're making a model, so it makes sense to use make model. So Flask make model, and then recipe. Now, I'm not going to put minus CRUD on here. I don't want the whole world to be able to do all RESTful actions on recipe. Right now, I just want the recipe model. So we'll run that. Now, when I do this, notice I don't get any routes, any additional routes. My routes are still just mains. My templates are still just that one template. So there's no, I can't go in the URL to anything new. So it's, if I try to go to recipe, recipes, I'm just gonna get a 404 error. And that's actually what I want in this case. I only want to be able to go to Test Kitchen Recipes and do everything under Test Kitchen. So let's come back here to VS Code. We did end up with a recipe model, and here's your file, and it's ready for you to make modifications to. And you'll need to migrate those changes into your database. I don't want to go into detail there, but let's now go back to terminal and notice, it really told us exactly what happened. It was just one file got edited, the dunder init for model, and one file got created, recipe. Now let's do Flask make controller, and it's going to be test kitchen recipe controller minus CRUD. Now I don't need to do any -m because I already have the model. I don't need to do minus model. I don't have to worry about that aspect of this command. I just need the RESTful actions, and it's going to look and it's going to say, hey, you know what? We already have recipe registered. This person wants RESTful actions on the model prior to controller, so it's going to put RESTful actions on recipe, but it's going to do it in a namespace of Test Kitchen. So we'll run that. All right, so let's see what happened. So as far as models go, nothing was created. That's what we wanted. Now if we go to routes, then there's Test Kitchen. Well, was Test Kitchen registered with my app as a blueprint? And sure enough, Test Kitchen blueprint was registered. So there is a route, Test Kitchen, and under the dunder init, there is the Test Kitchen, and here are the routes for that, which are none. It's just acting as a namespace. So right now we see that. Now recipe, if I come in here and I look at recipes and then the routes for recipe, there we go. And this is exactly what we wanted. We have Test Kitchen, recipes, and then there's no ID for Test Kitchen. It's just a namespace. This is where you would put middleware in here that would prevent other users from accessing this portion of your application. Now, if we go to the routes, we should see, yay, this is great. The 404 error went away. If I go back and I look at just recipes, there's no magic route that I haven't shown you to produce recipes as a active route. It's a 404 error there, but you have all your RESTful actions here under Test Kitchen recipes. So if I want to show one, there's that page. If I wanted to create one, there's that page. So this is the behavior that we wanted, and that's exactly what the docs are saying here in this section. That you'll end up with, there's no Test Kitchen model, there's no Test Kitchen ID parameter route going on. Test Kitchen is just the namespace. But now, if you want to build more structure on top of Test Kitchen recipe, and that's what this next video goes into, then you go back to make model. So we'll see that in the next video.